Hello, I am walking in a forest. Well, this video is about my ideas on when I talk about my ideas about marriage, like why is it a compromise irrespective of social uh, push or personal choice. Like in today's society, most of the people who are educated and a little aware about what patriarchy has done to them, what loss it has done to the entire society, and how it has created a family structure where women are suppressed and children are oppressed and men take the lead. So the educated class of women have started to realize that marriages should not be like this. Marriages should be equal, where both will take the lead, both may earn and divide responsibilities. Well, but to my understanding, even this new learning is not complete. It is still in the favor of the patriarchal structure called marriage. And why do I say that? Even if it is a social implication or a personal choice, like where we get married, to whom we get married, right? What duties we divide between ourselves, and whether we want to make children or not, when do we want to have children, if we want to even not have children, even if we want to adopt, or whatever, if we want to keep pets in our house, replacing children. All of this is a choice, but yet it is a compromise over our natural identity and our individuality. Now, when people get married and say that society has done a right thing about making marriage as a system, because people should get married, because if they do not, they will not be monogamous, and so the fear is polygamy. And when I say that it is natural for people to be polygamous, or even if they are monogamous, it is not sure that they naturally want to live with one person their entire lives, and that might come as a moral corruption. Like, am I encouraging that people do not live with one person their entire lives? Like, I don't want to comment on that. I'm not encouraging it and I'm not discouraging it, because it is whatever nature is, it is. Despite we create a society, our internal nature, our internal God, our internal conscious will always be pulled towards what is natural, and if we do not let it go towards the natural, then it is a compromise. So socially, marriage is a compromise, and even personally, socially, we all understand that. Now I want to put my thoughts about why is it a compromise even when we choose marriage and make it our own version of marriage. Because we learn from animals, but we learn from them partially, because for thousands of years we have been in a civilization and we have been far away from what nature exactly does. We are natural human beings. We are natural beings. But somehow we have understood that, we have convinced ourselves into believing that we are somehow above every other natural being, but we are not. So we partially learn from them when we argue that even animals make pair bondings. Like, there are so many kinds of animals who prefer to be in solitude after mating. So their only interest in mating and reproduction, mating with other people, other animals, is reproduction, and they do not wish to be romantically involved or involved with other animal for lifetime. But there are kind of animals who do. They wish. I cannot say that they wish, because wishing and hoping is a very complex emotion, which is mostly found in humans. But animals who live socially in groups and with partners, there are many animals like that. So we argue that if those animals can live, we are more complex in our emotions, we are more romantic, we are more emotional, then why shouldn't we live in pair bondings? Like, I am never against pair bonding, because it is natural and we cannot live without pair bonding. Even if we can live, but there would be something that would want it to happen in our life subconsciously. But those animals who choose to be in paired bonds are not compromising. They are not signing a contract paper. They are not surrounded by social structure. They do not take or give alimony. They do not take or give dowry. They do not have emotional expectations. Their consciousness is not so developed or complex that it keeps growing. But in humanity, humans do grow. Like, assuming that if we have gotten married with somebody who we really loved at one point of time, now they are growing. Now they change. So now we have to compromise. And the society has a quote about, no, not a quote, but a word called good marriages. We say good marriages also exist, but I do not agree that good marriages exist. What is the definition of good marriage in reality for society? That two people never get separate despite going through thick and thin struggles of life, or even struggles between them. But good couples stay. But let us talk about those people who are in a relationship or marriage, those individuals, not very close. Let's get very close to them and analyze what exactly they are doing to have a good marriage. As I mentioned, that people grow, human beings change, and it is impossible for two people, two consciously complex and evolved human beings, to never change their thought pattern. They will not be the same that they were at some point. Now when that point hits, when they change, now this is the time when we want to make our marriages good, to save our marriage. But what is the need to save the marriage? There are majorly two reasons, as I understand. A social reason. If two people want to save their marriage, it is either social or personal. By social, the reasons are, creating an image in front of the society, being called good couple, maybe financial stability, right? Or what else? Or else we will choose two different paths if we would be natural, if we would not depend on financial stability or social image. And that's a compromise, a total compromise of our own individuality and freedom. Because now we cannot walk away. Even if we want to, we have to keep it. And now the personal reasons may be fear of being left alone. So when your relationships, your marriage is not doing good, you just want to keep it surviving so that you are not left alone anymore. Emotional dependency, right, is safety. Like people, the first reason that people want to get married is that they want some kind of permanency and safety. That is their own reasons. So even if they suffer, even if they suffocate, they wish to compromise for their own selfish interests. Now we say that even animals look for safety, and even animals look for emotional dependence, but they are not tied up. They have no obligation. If they look for it, and if they do not get it, they are not under any obligation to keep a good marriage intact. They follow their natural desires. Animals who socialize and live in pair bondings, when the time comes that they are no longer, when they can no longer be a part of each other's life, they do not push that particular relationship. There is some sound coming from the forest. There are dogs. I'm not sure why am I walking. I've never come on this patch all alone, this silent. I've walked alone here, but it was not as silent as it is right now. Now and then people are walking, but that's also for a little while. That's all for reasons that we compromise. I have noted down some things that I would like to be reminded of. Okay, sir. Now the question is, like, if we are naturally looking for emotional angle and safety, then what is the use of marriage in the first place? It is a social construct and a social contract as well. So there is no love. Like, the moment we start to expect getting tied socially, signing a paper, like, this is not love anymore. So love is not a sign of, like, marriage is not a sign of natural love, right? There is no situation that you will not change, not one single. Let me see. People do change. People always evolve. Unlike other comparatively less consciously aware animals, and we are the only ones who want to get tied up. Like, we understand that we will change. Animals might not change. Animals might survive with one single partner for their entire life without getting into any emotional conflict as such. Okay, like, finally I'm in a silent patch. Okay, I'll sit. So we know that, like no matter how desperately we try ourselves to get convinced into the idea of a chosen marriage, it is not. It is all a give and take, a sort of business. like the way we invest in businesses. But we do not call, we invest in stocks, we invest in funds for with a little expectation. But people say that love is not business, but we can clearly see that love is business. I mean, not love, but marriage is business. Even if, like, when I meet, like, of course it can come as sexist, but trust me, because I'm a man and I've been with girls, all that I see is that their entire focus is on marriage, getting married for safety, which is okay. Like, everyone should look out for safety, but what if we rationalize that this is not true love? Seeking something in return for your investment cannot be love. I dropped my phone. But the entire argument revolves around trying to save a marriage. Like, the moment when you hit a state of trying to save a marriage, it hits every relationship, it hits every marriage. It's all a compromise, it's all very selfish, it's all very greedy. Like, we compromise our own possibility of loving truly just to feel safe. So love is not above everything. Then in that case, we compromise love for something in exchange, and we find it very amusing that the society has created a structure around us. Like, I feel sad about that. I feel sad that people are giving up their own identity and true freedom for something called marriage, which is designed by society to keep them permanently intact even if they wish to get away. Animals can get away, but then people would say, "Would do you want to be like animal? What is the difference between humans and animals?" Like, that's exactly the difference. Like, we are controlled by social statuses. Like, we are controlled. Even seeking financial dependency, even seeking financial security, is a social construct. Like, why are we not very much self capable of surviving? Because apart from survival, we have so many other needs. Many people want to get married to rich people so that they can sit in expensive cars, they can travel to expensive destinations, they can buy expensive technology, and they call it love. They say that I want to marry somebody who is very wealthy, and they say that why should we not expect that? Then we should also accept that it is no longer marriage, it is just a business. Like, it is not no longer love. Love doesn't function like that. We are just hiding a lot of our selfishness behind stories. One would not get married to a poor person, right? Like, even if we eliminate all this social construct, like getting married to rich people, like getting married to people who can reproduce, there are so many people who cannot naturally reproduce. So, like, eliminate, like put the limelight on love only. But now we seek permanency. Now we want to sign that contract so that this person that I love cannot get away from me. Or even if we love each other so much, even if we hit a state of non-compliance, we'll try to comply just to save the marriage that is already done. It would be beautiful to realize our own individuality and freedom, the moment we do not feel loved, or the moment that we realize that we do not love anymore, and even if we love, we do not feel free, and we feel stuck, and we feel, and our composition is not sitting with each other. We are entirely different human beings now, and now we compromise. Like, that is so evil. That is evil for me. Like, you are then also it is social. It is exactly social. Like, there is no meaning of marriage if we remove society. Society has taught us to comply. Compliance is an idea of society, so that the structure is maintained, so that there are no individuals. Society doesn't like people who do not get married. Society do not like people who do not reproduce. Society do not like who people who do not economically contribute to the country and pay taxes, and just want to live a very natural life. By natural, I mean the way we were supposed to live. And if we live the way we were supposed to live naturally, society doesn't like it. I talk all of this from my personal understanding of life, my personal experiences. Like, assuming if after 10 or 15 years of my marriage I change as a human being entirely, what would be the reason for me to live? We all can answer those reasons. So if anyone is planning to get married, like, let's ask if this is real love or it is just unnatural. Huh? I'll see you again. Bye.